Okay guys, this is going to be Meadows take-home video. Um, we are going to go over the hand feeding and kind of like everything that it kind of entails, the purpose and all that. So I'm really big on building the relationship between the human and their dog, right? And I feel that communication is one of the biggest barriers between um, the dog and their human when I step into a home or to a situation. So one of the things with the hand feeding, there's a lot that goes into it, right? As far as like kind of what you're building, right? So one, you're building trust and respect. You're working on clarity of communication so the dog understands what you want from it when you start giving cues. And you can use these cues to help the dog during difficult situations, right? In her case, because she's unsure and she like spooks or startles, I use what she's learned and what we use throughout the day as far as our markers or our cues to help her through those situations, right? So this is not something you're going to have to do your whole life. This is just something that I would encourage you guys to do right away when she gets home, and probably for the next month or two, just as you guys get more comfortable delivering the cue, her receiving the cue from you, and following through. So consistency and repetition are key. Follow through is very important. If you're going to give a command, it's very important that you make sure that she fulfills it. This will help remove the negotiation or the dog ever thinking, oh, well, I don't always have to listen. Because one of the most common things I get is, Sergio, my dog understands what I'm asking, but it doesn't always listen. And it's just because the human never follows through or doesn't follow through all the time. So these are things that you want to practice with her. And just make sure if I'm going to ask her to do something, I'm going to make sure that I see it all the way through, and it will help build the relationship between you and her. And it's not so much for when things aren't really that exciting or aroused for her, like in the home or you guys are just hanging out. It's more for those situations when she becomes more unsure about a situation, or you're out on a walk and something spooks her. And you want her to be so used to taking a cue from you and following through, because you've built that trust and that respect. And she also understands, like, oh, nothing bad ever happens. You never force anything negative on me, right? It's just, again, it's really big on clearing the communication and building that trust and respect. The other philosophy behind this is, like, I ask for something, you fulfill it, and then I give you what you want. So give me what I want, and in return, I will reward you what you want, right? So that's kind of really the point of the hand feeding exercise. And this can evolve in so many different ways. I'm going to keep it really simple for you guys, really basic for you guys, because I feel like at the end of the day, you're like, Sergio, we just want her to understand what we want, listen, just create some really good manners, right? But again, you can take this as far as you want, evolve, like you can do the hand feeding on walks, on parks, different locations. I mean, it can just really go, really get pretty advanced, as far as you want to take it. But this is kind of the foundation. So I have little things that I'm going to ask her to do, because again, building trust, building respect, give me what I want, I give you what you want. She's very food motivated, which is great. When you do this exercise, hopefully you can kind of see her just laying down, relaxing right now. She's very comfortable with what we're going to do. But when you're doing this exercise, you don't have to drag this out for a long period of time. That's one of the most common mistakes. A lot of people think that they got to spend hours and hours and hours of training with their dog in order to get their dog to really listen. It's really just, at the end of the day, in most cases that I step into, when it's just a home, right? People aren't competing or doing all these obstacles with their dogs, or protection work, or scent work, or any of that. Those are things where the dog requires a lot of repetitions, a lot of activity. But even in those situations, we're not working the dog for hours. It's just a lot of little increment trainings, just very consistent and kind of doing it every day. So in your situation, if you could do this once a day for, I would say, a minimum of 5 minutes, a maximum of 15 minutes, you will quickly start to clear up the communication between you and Meadow. The other thing too is when you are just navigating throughout the day and you are giving her direction, you want to do your best to stick to the cues that you've been teaching her in here. So don't have a full-blown conversation with her. Again, dogs are not verbal, okay? They can learn cues, and they learn cues through exercises like we're going to do, but when people sit there and have these long conversations, hey, don't do that, like that's just way too much for the dog. The dog's not processing everything, and it brings confusion. It fogs the clarity, and again, we want to keep everything very simple, very precise, very direct. Now, that being said, if you're sitting on the couch and you're cuddling with her and you want to baby talk her to death, by all means, feel free. But when you're giving direction, when you're leading her on a walk, when you're taking her to the store or something like that, that's where you want to be less verbal and just really sticking to the cues. So, I'm gonna take you through. I'm probably gonna drag this out a little bit longer than the 10 minutes. Again, just kind of going through everything. But again, this exercise for you guys, once a day, minimum of 5 minutes, maximum 15 minutes, and you're more than welcome to do it multiple times throughout the day. Excuse me. You could do it through both feedings if you'd like. Really, you make it what you want. But I really want you guys to practice, because she's going to be you're going to see it. She's very clear on my direction. But your guys' body posture, your tone, everything's going to be different from you. So it's really important that you guys practice, right? And again, just for the next maybe month or two, so you guys get really clear on the communication, and then you can kind of phase out the hand feeding, but you still use the same communication throughout the day. I do have the e-collar on here because we're going to show you a little bit of how I implement the e-collar in this also. And yeah, so I have the food over there by the camera, so you're going to see me walk to the camera, grab bits of food, and come back out and just kind of talk you through. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. Let me walk over here. And all I do is I grab little handfuls. So I'll grab some handfuls of kibble like this. Speaking of the kibble, her stool has become more solid with the multivitamin, the hip and joint, and even throw a little bit of some organic pumpkin. So she's doing really, really good. So when I'm rewarding with kibble, it's usually like, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 pieces. If it's something challenging that I've given her and she hits the mark, I'll kind of give her like a little jackpot. So I'm like a little bit more than normal. But if it's something pretty standard that she's already learned, I'm going to kind of keep it to a few pieces, right? You don't want to give her chunks, because then you'll go through it really quick, and you don't want to go one at a time because you'll be here forever, right? So let me show you how easy it is to get her on the table now. So I'll point to the table. I'll just tell her, up. Yes, good girl. So when she does what I want, and I just release some kibble, yes, good girl. Sit. Yes, good girl. So you give the cue, she fulfills it, and you say yes and reward with food, right? Down. Yes, good girl. Good girl. Now I'll take a couple pieces. Down. Reinforce. I didn't ask her to get up from that, so I'll put her back. Now when I want to release her, I'll take a couple pieces. I'm going to toss and say break, and then she knows she can break that command. Yes, good girl. You also want to mix in affection, because eventually what I do is the treats or the food become optional as I go forward, but the affection is always there. You're always going to be able to give her some affection just like that, right? I'll point to this. Up. Yes, good girl. Good girl. And then same thing. Break. Toss a couple pieces. Let her go get them. Oh, you missed them, babe. Yes, good girl. Come. Yes, good girl. Break. So every time I'm done with the command, I always say break. Break is her out cue. Lets her know that she can be released from what we're doing, right? So I'll come back, grab some more. We'll come. And we've been working on our spin. Ah, yes, good girl. That was very challenging for her in the beginning. Yes, good girl. Good girl. Oh, missed these pieces, babe. Right there. Yes, good girl. So every time she's eat, I like to say, yeah, yes, good girl. Turn. Ah, yes, good girl. So just so you know, like if I wanted to turn counterclockwise, I'll say, spin. Yes, good girl. And if I wanted to go clockwise, I just say, turn. Ah, good girl. Now, you'll see with those, because those have been a struggle for her, I'm using a luring technique, which is food in my hand. It's right in front of her nose, and then I will lure her into position and then release and reward. Over time, you want to be able to fade that lure. She's not ready for the fading of the lure on the turns yet, because those were really challenging for her, so I use them. But as you guys get more comfortable, break. You'll be able to fade that out, and I'll show you what the fade looks like, because we've done a little bit better with our sit and our down. So when holding commands, one thing, let me grab the e-collar real quick. Perfect. Sit. So I put her in position. Now if she breaks this position, I'll tap and I'll give her a correction, and I will tell her, right there. So I tapped it, tell her, nope, I didn't release you yet. So she goes back into command. Sit. And then she has to hear break. Now you can go to the food, right? So this is where the e-collar comes in very, very handy for clarity, right? Because I'm teaching her to hold positions, and we'll do it again. So sit. No fade, no lure there. And I'll come over here. Tap. Put food. Make her wait. Now I'm going to make her come back. Come. And we'll do it again. Sit. Break. So again, teaching her to hold these commands, right? That's why I really love the e-collar, because it allows you to stay connected without having to use a leash. Because if I didn't have the e-collar, you would see the leash on her, and I would just give it, if she broke command, I would just give a gentle pop, tell her no, bring her back, reset, and we would do it again. So we'll do it again. Sit. Food there. Just take my natural time, my sweet time. See, she's anticipating when I'm going to release her. And that time I didn't even push the button, I just said and then I'll say break. Break. Good girl. Yes, good girl. Good girl. So I've been slowly making her hold these commands longer and longer. And if you really wanted to learn to hold these commands, this is something you're going to really want to practice a lot at home, right? But we got a good basis down. So come back, and we're going to do the same thing. Oh, there you go, babe. We're just going to do it with the down. Now I'm going to put her up here. Up. Multiple commands. Down. Come over here. Lay out some kibble. Now watch this. Now, instead of releasing her, I'm going to give her another command. Come. Come. Yes, good girl. Now I will release her. Break. So that's something we've been working on too. Now if I put her here and I say the B word, break, now you're allowed to go to the food. But if I have you here and I say come, I expect you to come to me, and then I will reward you and release you, right? So come. Yes, good girl. So even when I say come and I want to release her, I'll say break, and I just toss a couple pieces. So break is always, okay, you did what I want, you're free, you can go and make a decision and do what you'd like to do, right? I like to take the probiotic and the hip and joint to create some really good distance, and then work on recall. So I'll make sure she sees it, and then I'll toss it. She's gonna go and get it, and then I'll recall. Come. Yes, good girl. Now I've asked her to come. So if I move, she needs to move with me. So if I do this, yes, good. Yes, good. Now when I want to release her, it's exactly that. Break. And I toss those pieces, and then she can go and get it. So even though I said come and you came and I rewarded you with food, that doesn't mean that you get to break away. You have to wait for the release word. Break. Good girl. Good girl. And we're just doing this with her breakfast, guys. So like, you don't have to use treats. You don't have to get crazy like that. All right, we just keep it very, very simple. I'm gonna use the position box. Up. Yes, good girl, good girl. Down, good girl. So I like to use this to keep her in a certain position and go into multiple commands. Sit. Now see, she's not on, so I'm gonna reset her. Up. This is okay, this is why we train. Sit. Yes, good girl. Good girl. Now, so I should be able to toss these over there, break, and then release her, right? Little things. Now, you guys don't have to make it this complicated or difficult. I just like to really challenge the brain, get her to understand, hey, I'm going to put you in different situations. I'm going to put you on top of different things. I'm going to ask you for command. When I put you in command, I expect you to hold command until I release you. At the end of the day, guys, you want to make this unique to your situation and your flow. So don't worry if it doesn't look exactly like this. If it's working for you guys and you guys are getting what you want and you're consistent with it, so she knows that, oh, when I'm with mom and dad and they ask for this, this is what I'm supposed to do. That's the main important thing. A lot of people will be like, Sergio, do I need to make it exactly like how you're doing it? And the answer is no. This is how I work my dogs. This is my expectation. I just want my dogs to understand what I'm asking for, and then you can build from there. So again, nice little probiotic piece. I'll toss it. Go get it. And then I'll send her into a new command. Up. Up. Yes, good girl. Another little exercise we work on. This is a focus command. So I have food right here. Up. And this is how I work on some eye contact. I'm going to put her into a sit position. I stick the kibble right here. I'm going to move my hands away. The moment she looks at me, yes. And I release some kibble. Hands go away. Yes. The moment I get eye contact, even if it's for a second or two, I'm going to reward that. I don't say anything. I don't give this a cue. I just wait. Yes, good girl. Good girl. Then I'll release her. Break. The reason I like to do that is I like to create a natural eye contact between my dog. So my dog is constantly kind of looking for me. If my dog is looking for me, that means that the brain is ready to receive command or direction. So their dog is constantly checking in. Really think it's valuable for a dog like Meadow, especially because there are things that will make her feel unsure and kind of startle her. So this just really helps with her always looking at you for direction. And so that's why I like to work on that, right? So she's also at the point where you can start slowly working on multiple commands. So I can go sit, down, sit, sit. Little trick right here, foot right here. Yes. Go multiple commands before reward. Come. Yes. Spin. Yes. Good. Turn. Yes. Good girl. Sit. Down. I could even toss down. Oh, this is good. So show you the power of the e-collar. So she's stuck right here. She knows what I want, right? So I have the e-collar. I'm going to say down. She does right there. She struggles a little bit. I'll give her one little tap. Correction. Go down. Toss food. Break. Good girl. Good girl. So you can also see the e-collar is not there to create, leave it, to shut her down, or it's just to clear the communication. And it's a very low stem. She's at a level 10 on that low stem, which I can't even fill on level 10. I'll have you guys fill it too, because you'll realize, oh well, it's not even, I can barely fill it if you can even fill it, right? Because I can't. I fill it at level 17 myself. So sit, right? You guys, you can keep this really simple too. Come, right? Don't overcomplicate it. When you first get her down, you can reward all these positions right here, and then break, and just do something as simple as that, right? And then come. Yes, good girl. Break. Right. So this is kind of the hand feeding exercise, guys. Now, when I get down to the little bit of the last like this, I'll give her a little bit more of a challenge. Oh, I'll show you kind of real quick the challenge. So I'll put her up here. Up. 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 So you can hear the correction when she doesn't do it the way I want. Down. So in command, she sees the bowl. So she broke position. We're going to use the e-collar. Up. 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 So you could tell like where we're at is getting her to hold position. Right there. Now she's going to want the bowl, but I'm going to, instead of releasing her there, I'm going to ask her to come to me. Come. She goes for the bowl. Little correct. Come. Correction here. Yes, good girl. I haven't released her yet. See how she's just anticipating what I'm going to ask her to do or tell her to do? I don't want you to anticipate. I want you to listen. So she waits. Now I'm going to release her. Break. Now you can go. Always. This is good girl. Yes, good girl. This is what I mean by being consistent. If I was like, she's not listening, she just goes, and I don't offer that correction, one, the correction is going to lose its value. Two, the break will lose its value, right? We want to be consistent. And also the other thing too is the brain needs to be working and thinking and listening for direction from us. Obviously, you could see the e-collar does not bother her. She just feels it and like, oh, okay, what am I supposed to be doing? And that's exactly what I want. I want the brain to be engaged with me, thinking, listening, so I can give you direction. At the end of the day, I'm going to give you what you want, right? And then when we're all done, at the very end, come here, girl. I will give her a lot of love. What's a good girl? Who's a good girl? Who's a good girl? So you could see, even though we offer corrections, we use the e-collar, none of it discourages her or suppresses her or anything like that, or causes her not to want to come to me. It just really clarifies what I want, which makes her a lot more comfortable. So hopefully this video was very helpful, guys. It is a longer video, so I'm going to upload this probably to my YouTube channel and then just send you a link. Okay? Let me know if you have any questions, and obviously this is just something to reference. I'm pretty sure when you guys come over, you'll have questions I'll be able to help you guys with also too. So